Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of Oaks Baseball here on YouTube, presented by the KDTV Sports Network. Got a good one for you here today. The Oaks in the final home game of the season, taking on the Academy Barons out of Compton, California. The Oaks looking to break a bit of a skid going on, dropping a couple of games. Oaks did clinch a playoff spot after the Saints lost last night. But the Oaks wanting to go into the playoffs strong, and today Tommy Brandenburg will be on the mound for the Oaks. Defense behind him today. Noah Karliner at first, Jack Brooks and Gavin Grant up the middle as usual. AJ Salgado getting a start today at third. In the outfield from right to left is Tyler Ganus, Austin Carrillo, and Zach Daudet, and Brendan Durfee completing the battery behind the plate. Josh, what do the Oaks have to do today to put a W in the column?
Well, for the Oaks, they got to take good at-bats with runners in scoring position. We've seen the Oaks get a lot of men on, but then leave those runners on base in this three-game losing streak. So the key for them is just getting hits with runners in scoring position. We know that this offense can swing it, but they just have to pick their spots and come through with those clutch hits to drive in runs. If they do that, they'll be fine, and if they continue to do that throughout the playoffs, that's where we'll see them at their best and potential deep run down and slow, up and slow.
As we said, Tommy Brandenburg on the mound. Austin, what can we expect from Tommy today?
Well, we've really just seen Tommy get better and better as his summer's gone along. This will be the seventh start and seventh total game for Tommy, as all he's done is
Neighbors shows bunt first play. Brandenburg can't field it cleanly, and Neighbors will be on the air from Brandenburg.
And for Brandenburg, we've seen it from him that it's usually the first inning that gets to him, and then he's pretty flawless after that. So obviously a rough start there with the error for him, but if he's able to have a solid first inning, then should be good the rest of the way, because like him, many of our other pitchers are usually gotten to early in the ball game, first inning, maybe the second, but Tommy just needs to continue to do more of the same, as he's been great as of late overall.
First pitch of the ball game, Kamau Neighbors shows bunt, gets a decent bunt down. It would have been a perfect sacrifice attempt, not a great one to get a hit. If Brandenburg fields that cleanly, he's out easily. Another bunt being shown by Tavares. Now that's a good bunt, and it'll just go foul, nearly grazing the third base bag. And he hears it from a couple guys in his dugout. That was a beauty.
Yeah, it sure was. And that was nearly turned into a bunt double, if that
That
stayed
could,
fair.
with Neighbors running too. Neighbors got a really good jump off that ball. Neighbors might have scored on that play, if it's fair.
Easily gets the third.
Easily gets the third.
And Neighbors really fun to watch. An exclamation point from him to end the showcase game. A leaping grab at second that kept the game from being tied and ended the game.
A pitch out. Nothing going on. Don't see that too often. 1-1 the count.
Makes sense.
Neighbors has a monster lead at first.
He's very big lead. The Oaks have already caught him stealing a couple of times this summer. Picked him off as well.
Pitch from Brandenburg, rolled over foul. First base coach from the Barons fields it cleanly to the delight of the Barons dugout. It was an easy play. We're all making that play up here. 1-2 the count to Tavares.
I think they're making a noise because, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the guy who's normally in their press box with us when we're down there.
Correct.
So just a little bit of heckling, maybe his first game at first base.
He's got the stopwatch out. Haven't seen that too much this summer. Ball hit up the middle. Gavin Grant will step on the bag for one, over to Noah Karliner for a double play.
Yeah.
Just what you want there. If you're Tommy Brandenburg, erases the mistake and puts a damper on this inning for the Barons.
Yeah, and lucky for him, Gavin Grant was shaded so far over to the middle of the infield there that he just has to gather that ball, take his time, make an easy throw over the first after stepping on the bag right as he picks up that baseball.
Grant had all day to throw. He could have rolled that ball over to first. That'll bring up Max Diaz, the everyday left fielder for the Barons. He fouls one back, 1-1 the count. Last outing from Brandenburg was his strongest of the summer. Nearly 6 innings of work, only 1 earned run, 3 given up on a home run. As Diaz grounds over to A.J. Salgado, he gathers himself, makes a strong over at first. It was a bit of a close play, but that'll retire the side. Brandenburg faces the minimum for the first time this summer. Gets out of the first inning cleanly. A great sign from Tommy Brandenburg going into the playoffs. And we'll be back for the bottom of the first. We are back in the bottom of the first. Mark Anthony Curtin on the mound for the Barons. Tyler Gannis leading off today for the Oaks to some new Waka music, a fresh new single released today, available for streaming on anywhere you stream your music. Me personally, I'm a Spotify man myself. Lineup today for the Oaks: Tyler Gannis leading off, Austin Carrillo behind him, followed by Gavin Grant, Zach Daudet, A.J. Salgado, Brendan Durfee, Noah Karliner, Josiah Chavez, and of course, rounding out the bottom of the order, Jack Brooks. Gannis gets a bunt down. Tavares makes an easy play, and Gannis is retired on the first pitch of the ball game.
That's a pitch that Tyler's going to want back. You know, he planned the bunt ahead of time, but that wasn't an easy pitch to.
That would have been a good. That would have been a good swing to just go ahead and swing away at.
Yeah, or if you're gonna bunt, then just pull it back and take the strike, because it wasn't in a good location to get a bunt down.
Up and in. And that'll bring up Austin Carrillo, as we mentioned, today's center fielder for the Oaks. Raul Sandoval getting the day off. Carrillo shows bunt as well. It goes foul. The catcher Zuniga picks it up after Kamau Neighbors is yelling at him to pick it up, thinking that it might trickle back fair.
really like the idea of Carrillo to lay down a bunt with how far back the third baseman's playing. I was just surprised that he tried that on the first pitch after Ganus was retired on the first pitch.
Second pitch from Curtin misses outside, 1-1.
It's more just Carrillo expanding his horizons pretty much. He gets on base in every single aspect, walks, hit by pitch, hitting the ball over the fence. Why not add bunts in there too?
Yeah.
Carrillo fouls one back, 1-2 now the count.
Well, definitely with how far back Tavares is playing over there at third base, why not lay down the bunt?
I will say I don't recall Carrillo ever laying down a bunt this spring with Calio.
He has a couple times for the Oaks this summer.
Yeah. He's turned it more into a thing now this summer.
Carrillo rolls over to the first baseman Hernandez, and Curtin with 2 quick outs as well. Only took Brandenburg 8 pitches to get out of the first, and in the bottom of the first, Curtin only 5 pitches to get 2 outs. That'll bring up the Oregon man, one of the Oregon boys, Gavin Grant. Grant goes after the first pitch himself, and he grounds out to Williams. And that'll end the inning, a 6-pitch inning. Real quick work from the 2 starting pitchers today in the first. At the end of 1, no runs, no hits for both sides, 1 error for the Oaks. Tie ball game, 0-0. Dios. Working hard and working fast.
Carrillo out there in center too because Sandoval, a little bit of a foot injury, ended up being a scratch from the lineup today.
And Sammy, it's surprising to have a pitcher throw 8 pitches in the first and then get out-pitched in the bottom half and throw only 6 pitches.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
That'll bring up Julian Boyd, center fielder today for the Barons. He takes a first pitch strike.
And I mean, Tommy may have thrown less pitches depending on if he's able to make that play on the bunt attempt from Neighbors. I mean, obviously got the double play, but
that was on the first pitch of the ball game.
Yeah, but then you don't know how many pitches he ends up throwing to Tavares. There's a lot of outliers. Still only 3 pitches.
Tavares only had a 4-pitch at bat. Nothing. Count evens up at 2-2. This will be the longest at bat of the ballgame. Oh, and Boyd strikes out on the 5th pitch. First strikeout today for Brandenburg.
First baseman number 33, Mark.
Curveball dropped in there, and Boyd didn't swing the bat until Durfee practically caught the ball. As he watched it just drop into the strike zone, realized, uh-oh, gotta try to swing, and it's too late.
Yeah, more just looked like I'm going to strike out looking and not, strike out swinging and not looking type of swing right there.
Yeah.
Another Mark Anthony today. Mark Anthony Hernandez, today's first baseman for the Barons. Looks at strike 1. Bit of a shift right now. Grant playing in that 5-6 hole. Leaves the middle of the infield wide open. Brandenburg working fast. Gets another strike. 0-2. Oaks expecting Hernandez to pull the ball. Brandenburg looking for the strikeout. Good waste pitch there on 0-2. And another ball hit to Austin Carrillo in center field. So another 1-2-3 inning. Brandenburg only 1 base runner through 2. Still has only faced the minimum. And when we come back from the bottom of the second, it'll be Daudet, Salgado, and Durfee due up for the Oaks. Back here, bottom 2. Curtin still on the mound for the Barons. Curtin, obviously, as we mentioned, only 1 inning pitch this summer. Already some action going on in the Barons bullpen. Zach Daudet leading off for your Oaks. He takes the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. A lefty in the mound for the Barons. Can't get a good look at that number.
I believe it's Shamir Marshall, number 28.
Yeah, I got 28. That's what it looks like.
Some Hawks. Some Hawks in the booth right now. I can't see that. No chance. Did you guys see it on the back or?
Yeah, on the back. When
I
okay.
saw him
yeah.
as soon as he
not on the front.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
No. I saw him as soon as he stepped out of the dugout. But, I mean, I can see his back from there. But, no, I cannot see the small number on the front of his jersey.
Yeah,
3-0 to
that'd be
Zach
an
Daudet.
actual hawk. To see that small number.
3-0 count to Zach Daudet. We'll see if he has the green light here. Thought about it, but takes strike one.
Yeah, at this point, a lot of these guys have the green light 3-0. It's really just on you as a hitter, knowing the situation and how you're feeling at the plate.
Daudet takes high for ball 4. A leadoff walk, first base runner of the day for the Oaks. That'll bring up AJ Salgado. Salgado still hitting the ball hard, but not getting the results you would expect from someone hitting the ball as hard as he has been as of late. Really want to see AJ get back into form for the postseason. He hits a line drive to Neighbors at short.
What
He
a
makes a
smart
drop, a purposeful drop to try to get a double play, but Salgado busting it out of the box, and he's safe. So that'll go down as a fielder's choice.
You got exit velo on that? Wow.
100 miles an hour off of the bat from AJ Salgado. Just can't catch a break. Hit right out of the smooth fielding Kamau Neighbors. And that was just a smart play by Neighbors over at short.
Such a heads-up
Knocks
play.
the ball down, tries to get the double play.
And props to Salgado for running hard at the box there, because I thought for sure after Neighbors did that it would have been an easy double play, but even after seeing the missile right at him, AJ kept it going out of the box.
That'll bring up Brendan Durfee.
And that's the type of thing, too, that helps AJ, you know, transferring from Cal State LA to UCLA. That's a huge transition, and that's not only because of what he's doing on the field as far as the production goes, but it's for small things like that where you're busting out of the box on a line drive no matter what.
Salgado on the move. Durfee fouls it off. I didn't think he got a piece of that. Thought it just bounced out of Zuniga's glove.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah, well, there's no protest or anything, so. But yeah, I agree. I didn't see the tip either.
No big deal. 1-1. Very good sign seeing AJ Salgado on the move. A sign that the hip flexor is fully healed. Durfee takes one outside for ball 2.
Yeah, but the injury bug still has not gone away from this team. Heineck picking up the hamstring injury on Thursday. As mentioned, Sandoval, a little bit of a foot injury.
The 2-1 to Durfee. Just outside, 3-1. Curtin wanted that call along with the entire Barons dugout. Curtin, a long look over there at AJ Salgado. The 3-1, way outside, a wild pitch. Salgado didn't see it right away that it was way off the catcher's glove. And he'll stay at second. But that'll bring on 2 base runners for Noah Karliner. We'll see a pitching. Could be a change right now, but it'll be a visit for sure. They're going to talk to Curtin, see if he's all right. Entire infield coming in as well for the Barons. Curtin worked quickly in the first inning, but in the second, it's been a little bit of trouble. 2 walks and a very fortunate 100-mile-an-hour line out. That was hit right up Kamau Neighbors.
I just checked in with Cam here, and Asked him where Curtin is sitting at velo-wise, and he's topping out around 80. So for Karliner, who can obviously obliterate a baseball, he's going to need to very much wait on this pitch. That's why I feel like we only saw 6 pitches during the first inning, was the guys were just so in front of it.
Topping out at 80?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a fastball or he's just throwing a changeup. But as we know, he's only thrown 1 inning this summer, so.
First pitch to Karliner is in there. Curtin, the next pitch will double his count for the first inning. Not that that's necessarily a bad sign on Curtin, as he only threw 6 pitches in the first. That was the 12th pitch of the second. One to Karliner. Thought about it. Ball's in the dirt. Salgado coming home.
Safe.
And he's in there. The hustle from A.J. Salgado earns the Oaks the first run of the ball game. Brendan Durfee to third as well. Second time we've seen that in the past week or so. Runner on second, wild pitch, gets past the catcher. And some serious hustle with the base runner scoring from second on a wild pitch.
I just witnessed Evan Gray-Gritty in the dugout.
I didn't see it. Damn.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
The 2-1. Inside as well, ball 3.
Tomorrow's starting pitcher, gritting in the dugout.
Don't know if this will be the last batter for Curtin, as he has struggled to find the command on that fastball. Karliner will be looking to do some damage on this 3-1 pitch. And just missed it. Fouls it back. 3-2.
My God.
Three-two. Outside, ball 4. That's the third walk of the inning for Curtin.
Designated hitter number 14, Josiah
And we'll see a pitching change here. Second visit of the inning. Time is called. And they'll make the change. It will be Shamir Marshall, left-hander, coming out of the pen. Mentioned a couple times, only 1 inning this summer for Curtin. Might not be a usual pitcher. A lot of two-way guys on this Barons roster. We'll be back after Marshall is done warming up. It'll be Josiah Chavez with runners on the corners. Only 1 man out. Oaks already with a run this inning, leading 1-0. Marshall's ready to go. Chavez in the box for the Oaks. Oaks still looking for their first hit of the ball game. 3 walks this inning. Curtin, 1 1/3 innings pitched. 1 earned run. Still responsible for Durfee and Karliner. Marshall, before he throws his first pitch, checks over at Karliner at first. Karliner in there before the ball's even out of Marshall's hands, but you still hear a got him from the Barons dugout. Another throw over. Not even close enough for the first base umpire to make a signal. First pitch from Marshall misses high to Josiah Chavez for ball 1. Marshall's at a Compton Community College, so he doesn't have to go far to play his summer ball for the Barons. The MLB Youth Academy is right on the Compton Community College campus. Right now, Marshall's behind Josiah Chavez 2-0. Chavez been swinging a hot bat as of late, getting a lot of RBIs. Another RBI opportunity here. He takes a hack, comes up empty, 2-1. Chavez just really been hunting the fastball down lately. Generating a lot of RBIs, a lot of extra base hits as well for Chavez in the past week. The 2-1. Another big hack from Chavez. 2-2.
Chavez has really done a great job at hunting fastballs, like you said, Sammy, just getting on time for almost every fastball he's seeing.
Karliner's on the move. Chavez lines one into right field. That'll be deep enough to scope Brendan Durfee. A throw not even made towards home plate. Thrown right to make sure. Karliner was on the move. He had to go back to first. But it'll be a sacrifice fly for Josiah Chavez. Getting the job done there. A run scores. Chavez will be greeted by the dugout to a lot of high fives. 2-0 Oaks. That'll bring up the man who's become the everyday second baseman, Jack Brooks, on his way to the University of Oregon in the fall. He'll take a first pitch strike. Cody Raymer putting on a sign at third. Karliner has some sneaky speed at first. You wouldn't tell by looking at him, the big man. But Karliner does have some wheels. Brooks down in an 0-2 hole as of now. That's just been the big key to victory for the Oaks. Get guys in when they're in scoring position. Oaks 2 runs without a hit. Karliner's on the move. Throw from Zuniga is not in time. And Karliner has a stolen base. That throw in the dirt, a nice pick by Neighbors, but I don't know if he got the tag down. A good throw would have gotten Karliner. And the count evens up at 2-2.
There's that sneaky speed you were talking about. Able to swipe it back and now give the Oaks a runner in scoring position. RBI opportunity for Jack Brooks.
The 2-2 from Brooks. To Brooks, I'm sorry. And he goes, can't quite check his swing, and Marshall's out of the inning. Only allowing one of the inherited runners to score. At the end of 2, Oaks, no hits, but 2 runs. Top of the third, Brandenburg still on the mound.
He's
First pitch is in there to A. Williams. I don't know. Thomas Williams. Roster today for the Barons is a little hard to get around. They have no outfielders on the roster. Williams shoots one over to left field, and he'll lead off the inning with a double. First hit of the ball game for either side.
Catcher number 37, Alonzo Zuniga.
First clean base runner Tommy Brandenburg has allowed. That'll bring up Alonso Zuniga, today's catcher for the Barons. Williams going after the first pitch he saw from Brandenburg, doing a good piece of hitting, shooting it right over the head of A.J. Salgado. Ball wasn't hit overly hard, but it took a long way for Zach Daudet to get into that ball, and Williams was into second easily. Zuniga goes after the first pitch as well, and he fouls back. The 0-1 from Brandenburg. Zuniga shows bunt, stabs at it. One around for strike two.
I really like how throughout this ballgame, Tommy's been attacking hitters, but even after giving up a first pitch double, coming right back at Zuniga and throwing a couple of strikes, continuing to attack, even with the extra base hit.
Oh.
Brandenburg, breaking ball in the dirt, tips his cap to Brendan Durfee as he makes a great stop to keep the runner at second.
Thought he was going to get Zuniga to flail at that one.
And if you're a pitcher, Josh, you're the first two innings only allowing one base runner, still facing the minimum, only 6 batters through 2. There's no reason to change what you've been doing up there because one guy gets a first pitch double.
Nope,
That ball hit lazily over to Zach Daudet in left field. He trips a little bit, but still
What a catch.
stays with himself to make the play. Scary there. Daudet looking at the grass out there, wondering maybe if there's a gopher hole out there. I doubt it, but Daudet loses his footing. A good job to stay composed and make the play. And that'll bring up Giovanni Saldana for the Barons.
Today's game was the first game in a long time that I wasn't out there for BP, and some of the last few days there's been mud out in the outfield. So I wonder if it's muddy out there, if Zach just stepped weirdly.
A bit of daylight over there at second base. Brandenburg makes an inside move. Close play. You don't see that too often, a close play on a pickoff move at second. Really have to get someone napping over there to get ruled out. Brooks there, made a good tag. Just misses him. First pitch to Saldana. Saldana looks silly up there. Half-hearted swing and another first pitch strike for Tommy Brandenburg. One and one.
With the top of the lineup looming for Brandenburg, you got to get Saldana here because Neighbors is not an easy out in the on-deck spot. And with the runner in scoring position, the Oaks clinging to a 2-0 lead for Tommy. Just got to get these bottom guys, the 9-hitter.
Salgado goes the other way. Hit lazily. Noah Karliner is able to make the play easily. And that will bring up the aforementioned Kamau Neighbors. Neighbors reached on an error from Brandenburg after laying down a bunt attempt on the first pitch of the ball game. Brandenburg really working quickly. Only 7 pitches in this inning. Less than 30 through his first 8 outs. First pitch to Neighbors, goes after it, fouls it out of play. Time is called at the plate by Neighbors. Second time we've seen that in as many batters. Second pitch misses just up. Ball in the dirt, gets past Durfee. Williams will go to third.
Once again, Neighbors showing bunt, looking to pick up another bunt hit. This time, had to jump out of the way of the pitch. Good job by Durfee to sprint after that baseball after what he just saw in the second inning, where Zuniga kind of half-heartedly jogged to a ball, which allowed Salgado to score from second. So Durfee knowing Williams is on second, and
you can never assume how fast someone is. You just gotta bust it down, get that ball as soon as possible. The 2-1 from Brandenburg misses up, 3-1. Next pitch will be the 30th of the ball game for Brandenburg. And it's rolled over foul, and the count runs full.
We've mentioned it on the broadcast before, Cody Sulak being a very smart baseball player. Right now, he's just standing in the coach's box having a conversation with Coach Joe. I saw him do some hitting motions, kind of going over something with Coach Joe, and just goes to show you what kind of ball player Cody is. I'm going to try to get that in the stream. Yeah, you can see Cody right there talking to Coach Joe and just giving him all the knowledge he's got. Two very knowledgeable baseball minds.
The 3-2 from Brandenburg.
Oh.
Brandenburg walking off the mound. He thought that was strike 3. Instead, it'll be a 2-out walk.
Didn't even register on the trackman.
Third baseman, number 26, Christian Tavares.
And that was a great spot there from Brandenburg, trying to paint that inside corner. And he did a good job. He froze Neighbors, who very rarely strikes out, but Neighbors gets the call.
Only 10 strikeouts on the summer for Neighbors. If I had to put money on anyone on this Oaks roster becoming a future coach, it would be Cody Sulak.
For sure.
Tavares goes the other way, and it gets through that 5-6 hole in between Grant and Salgado. Weakly hit ball, but just good hitting there from Tavares, taking it the other way, getting himself an RBI, getting the Barons on the board. It's 2-1.
Unfortunate for Brandenburg, after thinking that he had strike 3 in an inning ending, another scoreless inning, but doesn't get the call and then gives up a RBI single.
Another check over at second base. Close enough so the umpire has to make a call, but not really enough to get anyone excited. That'll bring up Max Diaz now in the box for the Barons. He grounded out to AJ Salgado his last time up. Big lead over there from Neighbors. A huge secondary. He was about halfway to third over there. You don't see a back pick from Durfee there, as you can't really back pick there, because if you do, Neighbors just walks into third.
And I know we haven't seen it yet this year. I don't even think it's a sign for the Oaks, but I love to see a little inside move from Brandenburg. Lift the leg, Neighbors secondary, and then go back to second.
Another ball in the dirt gets away from Durfee. And that'll bring 2 runners in scoring position now for Diaz. Diaz awaiting the 1-1. In the dirt again. Good stop by Durfee to keep it in front of him.
Great
Neighbors
work
really getting a massive secondary.
Yeah,
Any ball that gets even just on the grass by Durfee, Neighbors is going to be coming home. Good job by Durfee to keep it in front of him. Preserves the 1-run lead for the Oaks. Brandenburg waiting on a sign he likes. He's set at the hip. The 2-1. Big swing from Diaz. Comes up empty. 2-2. Deuces are wild. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count at the plate. The pitch from Brandenburg.
Yep.
Oh, thought it was on the corner again, and the count runs full.
It's a really good pitch there from Brandenburg. It just broke off the plate just a bit. Surprised to see Diaz hold up on that one.
Diaz stays true to the strike zone there, works the count full. See a bit of a twitch in his bat before he takes a swing. See that in a lot of stances. Little chicken winging. Diaz expands the strike zone on the 3-2 pitch. And Brandenburg is out of the inning, only 1 run allowed. At the end of 2.5, Oaks still ahead 2-1. We're back
Cam's corner.
for the bottom of the third.
Gotta make up. Thursday.
Tyler Ganus up for his second at-bat of the ball game.
You always do.
Tried to get the bunt down and couldn't.
You're in it.
His first time up. It'll be the first time that he faces Shamir Marshall. Tavares still on the grass, as usual, with Gannis up. First pitch from Marshall. In there, strike one.
It's good to see Gannis in the lineup today, as he was hit by a pitch in Wednesday's ball game, which kept him from playing on Thursday. And when I talked to him on Thursday, he was in so much discomfort and pain that he was a little worried that he was going to be shut down until playoffs. But here he is back in the lineup, back leading off for the first time in a while, as he's been usually hitting second as of late with Carrillo leading things off. But coaching staff makes the flip-flop for today's game.
Gannis in a quick 0-2 hole. Tavares now even with the bag at third. Marshall's shaking a couple signs, and Gannis calls time at the plate. The 0-2 stays up. One and two now to Gannis. The pitch outside, 2-2. After two really good pitches from Marshall to begin the at-bat, misses his spot completely both times, and the count evens up. The 2-2 to Gannis. Goes after it, looked a bit out of the zone, but Tavares gathers and makes a strong throw over. You don't see Tyler Gannis get thrown out that dramatically. Tavares knows the speed and didn't mess around, fired it in.
Yeah, you really let it go on that throw.
Tavares really letting it fly there. Would have loved to seen the velo on that throw.
Yeah, for sure. Probably around low 90s.
Carrillo shows bunt again with a second straight at bat. Pulls it back. Strike called anyway. I think Carrillo is just doing that to keep Tavares honest at third, as Tavares has played pretty deep when Carrillo is up.
It is surprising to see how much of a shift they put on Carrillo for a guy who goes to the opposite field quite a bit. Not really a pole hitter, just hits the ball wherever it's pitched, but they're still shifting him pretty drastically.
Oh,
Zuniga can't get a good squeeze on that ball. Gets away from him. 2-1 the count. What we're seeing right now is Tavares way off the bag at third. If Carrillo can make a great swing on the ball and take it the other way, Barons are just going to tip their cap and say, you beat us. But really just trying to take away Carrillo's ability to go the other way on the ground in that 5-6 hole. Counts now at 3-1.
He's also a guy who gets a lot of bloop singles along the third baseline, but with the third baseman shifted pretty far over. It's an even bigger area over there.
The 3-1 pitch is way outside, and Carrillo has another walk to extend his team lead in walks. And that'll bring up Gavin Grant. He went after the first pitch his last time and grounded out to Williams at second. Bit of a shift on for Grant. Grant rolls over on the first pitch. Easy play for Neighbors and an easy turn to end the inning for the Barons. That'll end the third inning. 2-1 is our score. Oaks still out in front. Tommy Brandenburg on his way to the mound for his fourth inning of work. We're back for the top of the fourth. Aaron Greenfield in the box for the Barons for his second at-bat of the ballgame. He flew out to Austin Carrillo on the first pitch he saw back in the second. Takes the first pitch here just a bit inside for ball one.
We'll see how Tommy looks here in this fourth inning. After the first two were very clean, and a bit of trouble in that third inning where he allowed a run, so we'll see how he comes back here.
Brandenburg thought he got Neighbors on a 3-2 pitch. That would have ended the inning with no runs across. As Greenfield goes in the gap, Ganus on the move, can't make the play, and it'll be another leadoff double to start an inning for the Barons.
What a swing.
That ball sounded crush off the bat, went 95 off the bat.
Center fielder, number 2.
It's a great swing right there from Greenfield.
Third hit allowed from Brandenburg in today's ball game. Julian Boyd now up for the Barons. As I was saying before that, Brandenburg thought he got Neighbors out on a 3-2 count. Subsequently, the very next pitch, Tavares takes the pitch the opposite way into the 5-6 hole to drive in a run. Another ball hit into the gap. Daudet on the move makes a nice play to record out number one.
Really good play there by Zach. I thought that ball was shooting the gap for sure. And a guy who doesn't play the outfield a lot, he hasn't played there in a while even, but makes it look easy out there.
Very good play from Zach Daudet. Might have saved the inning there for Brandenburg. It'll bring up Mark Anthony Hernandez. Hernandez, last time he was up, also flew out to Austin Carrillo in center field. First pitch in there for strike one. Brandenburg finally crossing the 40-pitch plateau today. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt, smothered by Durfee. Greenfield at second. Has a modest lead. Nothing really to worry about if you're Brandenburg there. Just got to look at him a couple of times. There's the look, he's dancing. And the 1-1 misses up. 2-1. Don't really see Greenberg get off the bag until Brandenburg takes that look over there. Greenfield right now not really trying to get to third to swipe it back off Brandenburg. Just more to stay in his head. Have Brandenburg focus on him and not so much the batter. The 2-1. Fouled out of play and the count evens up at 2.
Whoa. No one came back into the stands.
Brandenburg looking for a sign. The 2-2.
I throw that breaking ball again. Looks like he's going fast though. Oh, there's
2-2 is a breaking ball. Good call there from Josh. And Tommy gets his third strikeout of the ball game.
He's really got that working. I gotta ask him because I'm not sure if he intentionally throws two different breaking balls, but he's got the big looping curveball, and then that one looks more like a slider. I'm not sure if that's intentional from him, but it looks like he's multiple variations of that breaking pitch.
Seen Rich Hill for the Dodgers throw about 3 different kinds of curveballs
Yeah.
in his time with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Let him bring up Thomas Williams.
Just not getting that inside corner.
Brandenburg frustrated that he can't get that call. 1-0 to Williams. The 1-0 from Williams is off of Brandenburg's glove. Grant stays calm, makes the play to retire the side. Brandenburg sticking the glove out, tried to make the play himself, but Gavin Grant had his back to make the play and retire the side with no harm done after the leadoff double. Brandenburg gets 3 straight outs to close out the inning. At the end of 3.5, Oaks still looking for their first hit, but the Oaks are up 2-1. Shamir Marshall still on the mound for the Barons. And in the bottom of the 4th is Zach Daudet leading off the inning for your Oaks. Worked a leadoff walk his last time up in the 2nd inning. Was caught in that A.G. Salgado 100-mile-an-hour fielder's choice. Takes a first pitch ball, as he did in the 2nd.
You have Zach, the guy who's not afraid to take his walks. Top 5 in the team. Very patient hitter. But you give him a mistake, he'll rip it. Also one of the leading hitters for the Oaks. About 370.
Daudet fouls the 2-1 pitch off. Count evens up at 2. Zach, a guy who looks for his pitch every pitch. Not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. Has a very good knowledge of the strike zone. Doesn't expand it too often. Really good bat-to-ball skills. For my money, this is the best hitter on the Oaks right here. Best pure hitter, Zach Daudet. As he lines one into the gap in left center field for a leadoff single. Good job of Max Diaz to cut it off. Not a good job getting the throw in.
That's awesome.
And Daudet, a smart base runner as well, sees the balls being thrown offline, and he goes into 2nd.
And that's why coaches always tell you to run hard down the line and take a hard turn on every single, no matter where the ball's hit. We saw Daudet routine single to left field, hard 90, hard turn, and the second he sees that throw get by, he just keeps on going. He didn't even have to stop. That's exactly why.
That's the first hit of the day for the Oaks. As we've mentioned, 2 runs have scored. We're going to AJ Salgado, who hit the ball in the triple digits his last time up. Nothing to show for it, but a fielder's choice did come around to score after that.
Yeah, AJ's just been hammering the baseball as of late. But as we mentioned, it's kind of been like Gavin Grant, where it just goes right to somebody every single time, it seems.
Salgado
Good.
does a good job, eats up Williams at second base, and Daudet will come around to score easily. It's 3-1 Oaks after the error by Thomas Williams.
Well, that's all that Salgado had to do, just roll over and get Daudet over to third. But luckily enough for him and for the Oaks, it eats up Williams over there and gets in the outfield.
Very good job by Salgado, knowing what he has to do at the plate. Oaks already had a lead, but wanted to tack one more on. Salgado gets the ball to the right side of the infield, gets Daudet over to third. Williams can't handle it, and Daudet comes around to score easily. Now the Oaks have another runner on with Brendan Durfee at the plate, who walked his last time up in the second. Durfee goes the other way, right at Kamau Neighbors. And that'll be the first out of the inning for the Barons.
First base number 31, Noah Karliner.
Hoping that one was gonna bloop over Neighbor's head, but just dove straight down into his glove.
Mark that one down in your books as an L6. Bring up Noah Karliner. Walked his last time as well. Karliner goes after the first pitch, hit it over to Tavares at third, around the horn, and Williams drops the ball at second base. That's going to be his second error of the inning. Williams having a tough time of it this inning, and that'll prompt a mound visit here. Some action in the Barons bullpen. I don't know if it's going to be a pitching change. Tough break here from Marshall. Does his job, gets Karliner to roll over to Tavares. Thought it was going to be an easy turn around the horn, and Williams just can't handle the baseball. Drops it at second base.
Yeah, that's a tough inning so far for Thomas Williams. That the feed was just a little bit down, but definitely still not too hard to handle. Should have been a routine double play ball, and the Oaks catch another break.
Another E4 in the books brings up Josiah Chavez with 2 on. Josiah Chavez sacrifice fly his last time up, adding to his RBI total over the week.
And trend continues here at Sparky Anderson Field. Another sloppy ball game thus far. 2 errors for the Barons, 1 for the Oaks already. We saw the Riptide with 7 errors the other day here.
Oof.
Still picked up the win.
Chavez goes after the first pitch, hits it into the gap. It's going back at the wall. It'll land in front of the wall. It'll be another RBI double for Josiah Chavez. Karliner didn't get a good read off of the bat. He'll end up at third, but Josiah Chavez having himself a week going into the playoffs red hot. Another RBI double for Josiah Chavez. It is now 4-1 in favor of the Oaks, and they're still not done yet here in the fourth. Jack Brooks coming up with 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, I talked to Chav before the game. I go, how about you lately? Just been on fire. He's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean no?
When they get his bat like this, that just makes that lineup, or this lineup, that much deeper.
I'm telling you, just let us hit like it's Little League for the playoffs. We can have like 12 guys hit every game.
Infield comes in for the Barons. First pitch to Brooks, misses up. Barron's still using that lefty-lefty matchup. Didn't work for him last batter as Chavez rips the ball into the right center field gap. Can't see who's up in the Barron's bullpen, what number that is, but it looks like he's ready to go. This could be Shamir Marshall's last batter of the ball game. And he's battling with Jack Brooks, 1-1. Brooks fouls one out of play, 1-2 now. We saw it last game with the Oaks on the mound. Cooper Harris up with 2 runners on. Infield comes in. Harris doesn't hit a hard baseball up the middle, but he gets through to score a run. Brooks lines one into center field. That's a hard hit ball. Karliner tagging up from third. He will score easily. The throw goes into third base to keep Chavez at second, and it is the 3rd run of the inning for the Oaks. It is 5-1 now. Second sacrifice fly of the ball game for the Oaks.
94 off the bat there from Brooksy.
Ball
He's really
hit
been turning
right
on the ball lately.
on the button. Hard hit baseball. Nothing Boyd can really do, as he couldn't even get up to make the throw to home. No momentum at all. He just caught it, got it in quickly to make sure Chavez stayed at second. It'll bring up Tyler Ganus. Ganus 0 for 2 today. 5-3 putouts both times. One was a bunt attempt. One was a hard hit baseball at Taveras.
Knowing the aggressiveness of Tyler Ganus, they go with the first pitch slider, getting that back door.
Expected maybe a pitching change from the Barons there. Marshall's still out there. The lefty Carrillo is on the deck. You see a mound visit from Taveras going out there
I think he's telling him to
for the
change up the
Barons.
sign.
Now
Yes,
he's
exactly.
telling
Yeah.
now he's telling the Zuniga to get out there. That's definitely what's going on here. A lot of runners in scoring position this inning for the Oaks. Barons a little paranoid. Maybe the Oaks got the signs down.
It's interesting that the third baseman, Taveras, is the one who makes the decision to go out to the mound. Lots of times you see a shortstop or second baseman, one of the middle infielders.
Maybe he's the
God.
one who maybe saw something from a Raymer or something like that.
It's quite possible. He's also watching Chavez, so might have seen something from him, giving the batter the sign.
Gannis pops one foul, out of play. 1-2 now the count.
And that's, if that is what Taveras noticed, it's really heads up by him. Lots of times the sign stealing on second base is very hard to pick up on, whether it's just turning your head a certain direction on a pitch, putting your hands down, up. But the fact that Taveras was able to pick up on that and let them know they had to change it up is just heads up by him. Usually quite discreet out there on second.
Count evens up at 2. Or could be nothing.
Yeah.
And the Barons are just paranoid here. 3 runs coming across this inning. You never know, but that's just the beauty of this ball game.
Sure is.
It's a cat and mouse game.
Sure is.
The 2-2 to Gannis.
Oh, great
Good
pitch.
breaking ball from Marshall in the dirt. Gannis goes down swinging. Zuniga will throw over to Hernandez to complete the out, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Oaks put on a 3 spot here in the bottom of the 4th, giving Tommy Brandenburg a nice 4-run cushion going into the top of the 5th. We'll be back. top 5. Top 5 here. Brandenburg still on the mound. Alonzo Zuniga leading off for the Barons. Another first pitch strike to start off an at-bat for Tommy Brandenburg.
Wish we kept track of that, first pitch strikes, because he's done that maybe 90% of the time today.
Fair ball. Salgado plenty of time with the catcher Zuniga running, and it's a quick 2-pitch out to start the inning for Tommy Brandenburg. Tommy working hard, working quickly. Back-to-back starts now when Tommy Brandenburg has looked really good out there for your Oaks. A very good sign going into the playoffs. Brandenburg making a case to be that number 2 starter. Saldana goes after the first pitch, rolls it on a 27 hopper up the middle.
Yeah.
Not hit very hard, but Grant was shaded over in that 5-6 hole, and it gets through.
Yeah, he even said, Sammy, 20. That ball just rolled.
Rolling through. Not hit very hard, but hit right where they weren't. It'll go down as a single no matter what for Saldana. It'll bring up Kamau Neighbors. Has reached both times in today's ballgame. He's 0 for 1, reach on an error. Ball in the dirt as Saldana is going. He slides into second. Ball took a big hop off of the feet of Brendan Durfee. If Saldana sees that right away, instead of sliding, he might be on third right now. Neighbors reach on an error in the first, reached on a walk in the third.
No, I was just going to say. I don't even remember. Not important.
Good stuff, Josh.
Nice.
Thanks.
In-depth analysis right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I was just going to say, yeah, he would have been on third base if he didn't slide in a second.
Neighbors drives one into right field, playing with that airstream a little bit. Ganus makes the play. Saldana tagging from second. In there easily. Josh.
Yeah.
Jumps out of his shoes there. He thought that ball might have gotten out.
I can't see it on the right
Yeah,
field,
you
so I have
gotta
to just sit up.
You got a
because
pole.
the box.
You got a pole in your way.
It's the box, actually.
No chance there. Wind
Did I hear a what
is
from Josh there,
relatively.
too?
The wind is relatively calm today.
Yeah, it's a light breeze.
Yeah, because if it was moving, Sammy, you got at least 2 home runs during entrance BP today?
Cam did. Cam was going oppo today.
Yeah, Cam was showing that spread chart.
I got robbed today in interns BP.
Yeah, and JoJo.
Hit a hard line drive into the left center field gap right at Coach Joey.
Cam easily puts it over if the bat's not broken either.
Yeah, for sure.
We were also hitting BP with a broken bat. Not going to say who broke it. Not going to point any fingers, but
Just that
we would have had some good trackman numbers if the bat wasn't broken.
Yeah, it's
we
true.
all had to use a broken bat. It was not ideal. To be fair, we could have used a different bat, but
That
we
was the
all
best
wanted-
grip back. That ball eats up Karliner at first, and the inning will continue. They'll go down as an E3 on Karliner. Tough play there, in between hop. Didn't know whether to body it up or backhand it, and it eats up Karliner for the second run of the ball game for the Barons. Won't go as an earned run against Tommy Brandenburg. That's a play Karliner will be thinking about for a little bit. Wanted to make that play for his pitcher to get out of there quickly and also get his offense back in the box.
Just, he tried to body it up, but like you said, it was an in-between hop. Wasn't sure if he should charge it or sit back on it, and it kind of just took that gnarly hop and went off his chest.
Bring up Max Diaz, grounded out to third and struck out today. Actually, I think this is a pinch hitter for the Barons. It's number 10, Delshon Lanier Jr.
Oh,
Pinch hitting for Diaz. We've seen Lanier a couple times this summer.
we have. Surprised to see him hit for a guy like Diaz, who's had some success against the Oaks this summer.
A 1-2 count to Lanier Jr. Tavares over at first. Pretty big lead. The 1-2. Tavares is on the move. Ball's in the dirt. Durfee cannot get a good grip on that baseball as it was in the dirt. Keeps it in front of him. 2-2, and it'll go down as a stolen base for Tavares.
Both stolen bases for the Barons today have both been on pitches in the dirt that Durfee just can't handle, and even if he picked them up, it would have been very difficult to throw out the base runners.
The 2-2 to the newly entered Lanier. Misses outside and the count runs full. The payoff pitch to Lanier.
Yep.
Swung on and missed.
Nice, Tommy.
Fourth strikeout of the day for Tommy Brandenburg. An unearned run for Brandenburg. Second run of the game for the Barons. We are halfway home here in this one. Oaks ahead, 5-2. Coming up in the bottom of the fifth. We'll be back. Bottom five. Austin Carrillo leading off this inning for your Oaks. A 5-2 ball game. 3-run inning last time for the Oaks, taking advantage of a couple of errors by Thomas Williams. First pitch to Carrillo misses. It's 1-0. Marshall still out there for the Barons. And whoever was in the bullpen is now down.
So it seems like they used Kurt as like an opener for Marshall, who is the more traditional starting pitcher.
Gets a strike there. 1-1 the count now. Carrillo fouls off that one. 1-2. Carrillo 0 for 1 today with a walk. The 1-2. Golfs it out into the right center field gap. It's a long run for Greenfield, but he's there to make the play.
Shortstop number 34, Gavin.
Being up Gavin Grant. He's grounded out twice today, both on the first pitch he's seen in the at-bats. So it looks like Marshall was out there just to get Carrillo. And there will be a pitching change. Pitcher that was in the bullpen was ready to go, stayed in the dugout for this inning. Looks like that was the plan all along, just to get the lefty-lefty matchup one more time. It'll be number 16, Rene Galvan for the Barons. We'll be right back after he's done warming up. Galvan ready to work. First batter he'll face today is Gavin Grant. Misses with his first pitch. It'll also be the first time Grant doesn't go after the first pitch he sees in his at-bats today. Goes after that one, comes up to empty, 1-1.
Is he swinging a different bat? It's the same one. I feel like
I think it's the same one.
Okay.
Hand up. I don't know. Have no idea.
I think this is the last one. It's the same one as last at bat.
Okay.
It does look like a different bat than usual, though.
Yeah.
The 2-1 from Galvan. Misses up, 3-1.
The Oaks have seen Galvan before, and they really got to him, scoring 5 runs off him in a couple innings.
Grant goes after that one. It's coming right for us. It's
Can't
gonna land in play, and Zuniga makes the play. And Austin, you gotta get in that guy's ear, man. Try to distract him there. What are we doing here?
Left fielder number 25.
Grant pops foul. Thought that was coming right for us. Thought it was gonna be the first time we were gonna be able to make a play this summer.
I should have given him a
Way short.
little bit of a ooga booga, try and scare him off.
I had a kid on my team in high school get a warning from the umpire because there was a pop-up on the outfield and the outfielder settled under it or was running towards it. He yells, "Watch out for bears," and the outfielder drops it, like moved out of the way, it fell, and the umpire looked over at our dugout. He's like, "Can't say that. If you do it again, you're getting tossed."
I had a teammate my last year of Little League. Every fly ball, no matter where it was, he would yell fence.
Yeah, that's bad.
Fence is something that you shouldn't do, but watch out for those bears?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what?
A lot of bears in Calabasas.
Yeah. We were playing at Valencia High School.
A lot of bears out in Valencia, Cam?
Yeah, a lot of bears out in Valencia as well.
Wow.
We just heard from Cam.
Maybe it was right around that time.
Yeah, we just heard from Cam that there was a bear on his high school campus at West Ranch.
When I was growing up, there was a black bear that was going through people's garbage
Like in your
right before
neighborhood?
trash day. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Like about a year ago or
3-1
so,
count to Daudet
there
now.
was a bear just walking through the streets of Newbury Park. Not exactly sure how it got there. There's also the situation out in Moore Park where the tiger escaped from the teaching zoo at Moore Park and was over by Target. the teaching zoo at Moore Park College?
Daudet flies out to Boyd in center field, and it'll be a 1-2-3 inning for the Barons. At the end of 5, Oaks up 5-2.
Cam's corner when we come back.
Top of the 6th. Aaron Greenfield leading off for the Barons. We got a regular guest now here in the 6th. Cameron Deck, our very own.
How's it going, guys?
Going good, man.
It's going good.
Good.
Can't complain.
Cam, we missed you on Thursday.
I know.
You know.
Cameron Deck in for Cam's Corner
I miss you guys.
here
too.
on the Oaks broadcast. First pitch from Brandenburg, who's still out there for his 6th inning of work. To Greenfield is a strike.
Cam's Corner, very
Beloved by the fans. Beloved.
so I hear, but very short-lived.
Yes.
Started
Yeah.
it too late.
Yeah,
It's a shame.
it is.
Big time.
Cam, what have you liked from Tommy today?
Everything. I liked everything from Tommy.
All right, what have you seen from Tommy that you like? Tell me specifically.
Fastballs look good. Curveballs look good. He's been locating all of his pitches in the zone. I've been labeling it as a cutter on TrackMan. I think it's like a slider, but it's like a cutter slider.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure, because he's got the loopy curveball and then also that harder
Yeah.
slider.
See, that was it right there.
Yeah.
I've been labeling it a cutter in TrackMan, and it's looked really good today. It has a ton of spin on it.
Really
It's
has.
been fooling a lot of the batters for the Barons.
We got to talk to Tommy, find out what that pitch is, because
Well,
I agree. I was trying to figure it out.
I was
also.
talking to Evan Gray when he was up here once, and
Yeah.
he said he's working on a slider,
Or
but
is it good?
yeah, no, it's slider cutter,
Yeah.
same thing.
3-2 from Greenfield is fouled off. This is only the third 3-ball count from Tommy Brandenburg.
Wow.
He's throwing a lot of strikes. They're continuing to just swing at him.
Oof. Where did that miss?
In the
It
strike
didn't.
zone.
It didn't. It was right there. So it'll be a leadoff walk for Greenfield after the missed call at the plate. What have you seen? Has this umpire been on it today? Has he?
Yeah, he's been pretty good. A few missed calls here and there, like that one, but my grade to him would be probably just a B.
That's fair. Julian Boyd up. He's showing bunt. Karliner had to come in to guard the bunt there. Durfee wanted to back pick, but nobody's at first.
And Durfee jumping up like that for the back pick is probably what cost Tommy the strike call there. Looked like it caught the knees. The trackman agree, Kim, or no?
No. He did not agree.
Agree with.
2-0 now to Boyd. AJ Salgado playing on the grass after Boyd showed bunt. Two-one now to Boyd after the swing and the miss.
He's throwing that cutter a lot today.
Yeah, he has. It's been really working for him today.
2-1 to Boyd. Flown into center field. Carrillo drifts back a couple of steps. A fake tag attempt from Greenfield. That'll be out number one.
First baseman number 33, Mark Anthony Hernandez.
Cam, you were mentioning that one pitch failed to register earlier. When that happens in the TrackMan, tell us about how much that messes you up.
Yeah, it messes up everything. So when Tommy's going to go look back at his data after the game, and he's going to see
That ball off of Durfee's foot. It gets past him. Greenfield will go in a second.
he's going to see that a run scored on a walk when it really didn't. It actually scored on a single because the previous batter, a pitch didn't register to neighbors. So I had to kind of go back and try and fix it best I could, but
That was that 3-2 pitch to neighbors.
correct. And yeah, not much you can
Austin
really do
was
about
getting
it.
on you on that. He wanted to see where that was on the TrackMan as far as location goes. Danny Velos going down in the bullpen for the Oaks. We'll see how much Brandenburg will go the rest of this ballgame. Strong outing so far. That pitch misses outside. It's now 2-0.
With Velos going down there right now, you have to imagine that Brandenburg won't be going past the sixth inning.
Brandenburg gets the first strike of the at-bat to Hernandez. Now 2-1.
Another thing with Velos, he's a guy that can go out there and get multiple innings. It could be a situation that we saw with Rivas and Apker where it could be 6 from Brandenburg and then Velos coming in for the final 3. Although I'm sure their plan is 2 from him and then 1 from Lucas.
Brandenburg working back in the count, 2-2.
But yeah, if it's not a save situation in the 9th and it's still Velos, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go 7, 8, 9. Especially with the injuries in the bullpen.
That would require the Oaks to put up a few more runs in this ball game.
Yeah.
Certainly capable of doing so. 5 runs on only 2 hits today for the Oaks, really taking advantage of the free passes they've been giving and the errors. The 2-2 from Brandenburg. Hanging breaking ball. Hit well into left field. Gets past Daudet easily. It'll be a RBI double for Mark Anthony Hernandez.
Not the 2-2 pitch that you want if you're Brandenburg. Left that breaking ball. Up and out over the plate. Just in a very hittable location for Hernandez, who did what an all-star's supposed to do on a pitch like that.
Some places you want to miss with your breaking ball. That one was certainly not one of those locations. If you're gonna miss, you want to miss down. You don't want to miss up, and that breaking ball hangs, and Hernandez was able to bang it into the left field, all the way to the wall. So this will be Williams up. Made a couple of errors this ball game, allowed a couple of runs to score for the Oaks. He calls time at the plate. Williams goes after a ball in the dirt. Count evens up at 1. The 1-1 misses inside and low to Williams. 2-1 count. Zuniga on deck. He's 0 for 2 today. (2-1) from Brandenburg. Rolled over to second base. Karliner went after it at first, able to get back to the bag for Jack Brooks to make the play. 2 out. Alonzo Zuniga.
Good job there by Karliner, getting back to the bag after wanting to go after that pitch, after that ground ball. It was good communication between him and Brooks, and then busting it back to the bag to make sure that he gives a clear target to his second baseman.
That'll bring up Zuniga. Any ground ball in the infield could be an out with Zuniga's speed. He swings and misses at the first pitch.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Another really good cutter / slider there from Brandenburg.
Yep.
0-1 to Zuniga. It's a ground ball, but it's through the diving effort from Gavin Grant. 2-out RBI single from Alonzo Zuniga, and the lead is now cut down to 1.
Designated hitter number 4, Giovanni Salgado.
They're just finding the holes on these ground balls that are just rolling through the infield.
And that was the exact same cutter he got Zuniga to swing and miss at right there, and he just got his bat out.
Only 78 miles an hour on the exit velocity from Zuniga.
Good adjustment by him, though.
Yeah.
That'll bring up Saldana. Saldana 1 for 2 today. Saldana now down 0-2.
feel.
0-2 is in the dirt. They appeal down to the first base umpire, and Salgado went. Durfee playing with Salgado a little bit there. And that'll retire the side, not before the Barons score 2. That's 3 unanswered runs from the Barons. What was once a 5-1 ball game is now a 5-4 ball game. Looks like it's going to be a new pitcher as well for the Barons. Number 36, Anthony Corrales is going to be on the mound to take over for Galvan. We got ourselves a ball game here, folks. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th. AJ Salgado leading off the bottom of the 6th for the Oaks. Salgado 0 for 2 today with 2 runs scored. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd. Reached on the Williams error, one of the Williams errors back in the 4th. Salgado hits a line drive right into the glove of the newly entered Corrales.
Are you kidding me right now?
AJ Salgado, just the guy who cannot.
Yeah, he cannot
catch a break right now.
Can't catch a break.
And hitting the ball hard all over the field.
How hard was that one?
92.
That's.
Got to feel for him.
Yeah, you do, but it's also a good sign heading towards the playoffs that he's continuing to barrel at baseballs like this, because they're going to start to fall. They won't be right at guys forever.
Yeah.
Brendan Durfee in the box. Goes after the first pitch, fouls it off.
And as Danny Vilos continues to throw down in the Oaks bullpen, the day for Tommy Brandenburg is going to be done. I saw Coach Rad point down there in between innings to let Danny know he was coming in. Really good job today from Tommy.
The 0-2 to Brendan Durfee. Just off the outside corner for ball one. Corrales just sticking the glove out to get the first batter of the inning. The 1-2 to Durfee. Had a play, foul ball. Noah Karliner on deck. He's 0 for 1 with a run scored. In the hole, Josiah Chavez 1 for 1 with a sacrifice fly and an RBI double. 2 RBIs today for Josiah. The 1-2 from Corrales. He's out of the windup. The pitch. Chopper over to Williams. Takes a wicked hop, and it gets over the head of Williams. Williams not having an ideal day over there at second base. That one won't go down as an error, as that ball took a monster hop and got over his head. Nothing he can do about that except be taller. That'll go down as a single for Brendan Durfee. Tough break there for Williams.
Yeah, real tough break there.
Salgado can't buy a break at the dish. On the field, Williams can't buy a break. It's just the way this game goes sometimes.
Yeah, AJ needs that kind of luck.
Karliner goes after the first pitch. It's popped up on the infield. This is one that Williams will handle easily. There's the break we were just talking about that Williams couldn't get on the field. It'll be up to Josiah Chavez to keep this inning alive for the Oaks. And Corrales has to be careful here, as Chavez is one swing away from making it a 3-run ball game once again. Chavez really seeing the ball well. 1 for 1 with a double and a sacrifice fly. 2 RBIs today. Check over at Durfee. A real passionate got him from someone in the crowd. Wasn't remotely close.
I believe that's one of the Barons pitchers down behind home plate.
Yeah, I think so.
First pitch to Chavez, misses outside. With the way Chavez is hitting right now, the first pitch is the most important pitch of the at-bat, because you do not want to get behind him right now into those fastball counts, which he has been just ambushing as of late. Breaking ball there from Corrales, thrown for a strike.
There you go, Sammy. Get behind in the count, but they won't throw him the fastball. They go with the breaking ball there.
Durfee at first. Small lead. The 1-1 misses from Corrales. 2-1. Corrales set at the belt. The 2-1. Chavez goes the other way and stays hot. Another base hit for Josiah Chavez. A good job from Lanier over there in left field to get to that ball quickly, making a strong throw, keeping Durfee at second base. Josiah Chavez really seeing the ball well as of late.
Sure is, and he's been driving the ball to all parts of the field. We saw one of his 2 walk-offs come on that exact swing, a line drive to left. Doesn't matter where you throw it, he's hitting it.
It's a real good approach from Chavez as of late. Not entertaining the breaking ball, just getting in fastball counts and taking advantage of so. Really putting good swings on the ball lately. First pitch to Jack Brooks.
Oof. it's way outside.
Yeah, it was a good frame back there behind the plate.
Yeah.
Cam lets you know where it is on the TrackMan. More action in that Barons pen. It's number 6, Christian Lara. Brooks in an 0-1 hole. The pitch from Corrales. Another chopper right to Corrales. He'll toss it over to Hernandez easily to retire the side. And at the end of 6, Oaks unable to get a run across. It's 5-4. We'll be back. Top of the 7th, Danny Velos on the mound. That'll close the book on Tommy Brandenburg. Austin Gregory back with us. Austin, what's the final line on Tommy Brandenburg?
6 innings for Tommy, 4 strikeouts, only 1 walk, 6 hits, and then 4 total runs. Only 3 of them will be earned, though.
Top of the lineup for the Barons. It'll be Kamal Neighbors for his 4th plate appearance today. 0 for 2 with a walk. Reach on an error in the first. First pitch from Velos is in there for strike 1. Breaking ball breaks too much inside. 1-1. Neighbors does a good job there. Goes the other way, right over the head of AJ Salgado for a leadoff single. An unwarm welcome for Danny Vilos into this ballgame.
Third baseman number 26, Christian Tavares.
Bring up Christian Tavares. 1 for 3 today. Grounded into a double play in the first. Single and was stranded at second in the third and reached on an error from Noah Karliner in the fifth, which scored a run for the Barons.
Of course, you never want to see a leadoff hit out of the bullpen, but it's good to see Danny throwing each of those first 2 pitches to strikes to Neighbors.
Tavares shows bunt. Does not land in fair territory. 1-1. Neighbors at first, always a threat to steal. He represents the tying run. And Vilos checks over on Neighbors. AG Salgado well in right now. Couple of steps on the grass. Tavares shows bunt again, pulls it back. It was high for ball 2. Tavares shows bunt again. This one goes foul.
And the hurdle over that one, too.
It's a good thing that ball did go foul. Tavares, a drag bunt attempt there. It looked like he was beating Noah Karliner to the ball and would have been first and second with nobody out for the Barons to start the 7th. It's a 2-2 count. See if they put Neighbors in motion. He looks ready to run. 2-2 from Vilos. Stays up. And the count runs full.
Imagine this probably now puts Neighbors in motion, full count.
The 3-2. Lined into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Neighbors is going to be moving to third. He's in there easily. And it's runners on the corners to start the inning for the Barons.
Number 10, Delashon Lanier.
Delshon Lanier. He came in to pinch hit for Max Diaz in the 5th. Struck out. Has stayed in the ballgame. This will be his second at bat. Infield stays back. They'll trade the double play for the run. Swings and misses. Strike 1. Barons have doubled the Oaks hit count today. 8 hits to 4, but the Oaks holding on to a 1-run lead. Really in jeopardy right now. Vilos in desperate need of a strikeout. And he's ahead of Lanier, 0-2.
It's a very late strike call.
I was going to say, it scared me a little bit there.
Tavares at first, Neighbors at third. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded, foul. And we'll have another 0-2 pitch. Lanier way out in front of that breaking ball there. Has enough bat left in his swing to foul it off.
Now back-to-back sliders from Vilos. We'll see if he triples up on it or goes to the fastball that's gotten hit a couple of times today.
Another 0-2 from Velos.
Good.
Breaking ball just outside.
Very impressive. Impressive there by Lanier to hold up on that one.
And he'll probably go fastball here. Not wanting to triple up on, or not wanting to, he's already tripled up on the slider, but I would throw the slider again.
Big lead
Don't
from
care what
Tavares
he's
at
done.
first.
Oh, listen, thank you.
Ball rolls over right in front of Velos. He comes home with it. Neighbors in a pickle now. Gets around the tag there. Good job from Neighbors there to get caught in a pickle there. And both runners move into scoring position. We'll bring up Aaron Greenfield. Greenfield walked to lead off the sixth last inning, came around to score on the double from Hernandez.
It was a good job, too, by Neighbors to tell his base runners to move over after he knew he was gunned down in that pickle.
Yep, he did a good job of staying in it long enough to get his guys over.
Good job from Velos to get to that ball. There was no shot at a double play there. Only chance was to get one out there. Was able to keep the run off the board. The infield is now in for Aaron Greenfield. Greenfield 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and a run scored. Outfield still playing pretty back.
Yeah.
1-1.
With both hits coming on that fastball, Velos has turned primarily to that slider, throwing, I think 5 of these last 6 pitches have all been sliders. There's another.
That one misses outside. The count is now 2-1. Tavares at third. Lanier represents the go-ahead run at second base. 2-1, fouled out of play, 2-2. Everyone on this Oaks infield playing in front of their respective bags. Salgado at third, Grant at short, Brooks at second, Karliner at first. Everyone has a strong arm in this infield right now. The 2-2 from Velos. Slider off of Velos's back. It goes off of Velos.
He's out.
And Lanier gets picked off at third after the run scored. Trainer will come out to speak to Velos as well as Coach Solis. Velos shaken up on that play. Line drive right off of his back. I was wondering if that ball hit Lanier as he was in motion. But we have a tie ball game now with Greenfield at first. 2 outs here in this inning.
Oh, that was quick.
I'm curious how things are going to be managed right now because I talked with Lucian Westberg before the game to ask him how he was feeling. Obviously, we haven't seen him since he pitched beautifully the other day after a long relief appearance from him, and he said, yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to go today if need be. And he said that it was either going to be him or Danny Velos coming in after Tommy for a long relief today. But we'll see, you know, as of now, the back's not bothering Velos, but as he sits in between innings, it could start to stiffen up after hitting him in the back that hard. We'll see what the plan with the bullpen the rest of the game will be with it now tied.
Boyd goes after the first pitch. It's going to be into left field. Greenfield held up at third. And the inning continues for the Barons.
Not exactly what that was right there from Greenfield. Greenfield just stuck his hand out in front of Salgado before that ball came in. Not exactly sure what that was. Salgado said something to him, and now that's why Coach Solis comes out to talk to the home plate umpire.
You think that's why he's talking to him?
Yep, 100%. No clue and no reason why Greenfield needed to do that.
Two-out double for Boyd.
They're just laughing right now. Two of them.
Well, yeah, at first Salgado was just like blown away, I think, by the fact that he actually did it. And I think if it would have hit Greenfield's hand, then he would have been called out for obstruction.
Wait, what exactly did he do?
So
He
when
just
that ball
stuck
was
his hand out on
when
the
that
throw.
ball was thrown from Daudet to Salgado, he just stuck his hand out in front of Salgado. I don't know exactly why, but
That's interesting.
that's 100% why Coach Solis came out to talk there, because
10th hit of the ball game for the Barons. It'll bring up Mark Anthony Hernandez, who doubled his last time up, 1 for 3 today. RBI double his last time. Also came around to score. Swings at that nasty slider from Danny Vilas. Comes up empty, 0-1. The 0-1 from Vilos is flown into right field. Ganus has to come in hard, and Ganus makes a diving play to save the day for the time being for the Oaks. Keeps the ball game tied.
just like that.
Big play from Tyler Ganus.
What a play. That'll spark some energy into the dugout.
Oaks got to get back into that dugout, get those bats going again. 5-5 ball game. 4 unanswered runs for the Barons. We'll be back while we stretch. After making the game-saving play to end the 7th, Tyler Ganus is leading off the bottom of the 7th for the Oaks. Trying to get something going here. Tyler 0 for 3 today. Looking to be the spark plug he has been since he joined the Oaks. Corrales still on the mound for his 2nd inning of work out of the pen. Tavares started playing back. He's creeping in now. Ganus goes after the first pitch, fouls it off.
Love to see a leadoff base runner in this situation, and exactly the guy that you want up there. 4 unanswered for the Barons.
Ganus fouls away the first 2 pitches of the at-bat. Will cause Tavares to now play a more traditional depth at third. Nobody wants Tyler Ganus to get on right now more than Tyler Ganus. A very competitive ball player. The 0-2 pitch. Ganus hits it sharply over to Neighbors at short. Quick hands from Neighbors there. Fun play to watch there. Ganus goes down. He's 0 for 4 today. Austin Carrillo now up. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk. Nobody up in that Oaks bullpen. It looks like it will be Velos again for the 8th after he took that scary liner off his back to tie up the ball game. First pitch from Corrales misses badly. Also gets past Zuniga at the plate. Oaks got some work to do here. We're once ahead in this ball game, 5-1. And now find themselves in a tie ball game here in the late innings. Once again, gonna take some late inning heroics to win this ball game. A lot of guys certainly capable of doing so. The 2-0 to Carrillo. Goes after it. Hernandez just sticks the glove out and is able to make the play. He'll go to the bag, 3 unassisted. And the first 2 guys for the Oaks in the 7th go down in order.
Yeah, and that play right there made by Hernandez, he made it look so easy, even though it came off the bat of Carrillo at 97 miles per hour.
We'll see a pitching change here.
I believe it's Christian Lara coming in.
Not sure why. It is going to be Lara, number 6. Lara, also a right-handed pitcher, to face the right-handed hitting Grant. Not sure why this move was made. Corrales gets 2 quick outs here in the 7th. But we don't make the decisions for the Oaks, let alone the Barons. We'll give Lara some time to warm up here. We'll be right back. Lara is ready. First batter he'll face will be Gavin Grant. Lara out of Hope International University. HIU in Southern California. Even though there's nobody on, Lara is going to be working out of the stretch. First pitch to Grant. In there for strike one.
We talked about it during the break. Lara has lived the life of a bullpen arm, as Sammy put it perfectly this summer. After just 2 outings, his ERA was up to over 10. Then he dropped it back down to just above 3,
Grant
and now it's
shows
back
bunt.
over 10.
Lara has it. Bad throw, and Grant is able to beat it out. Strong throw from Lara there, gets Grant, but that ball was not thrown very hard. Also bounced, and that extra half a second there gives Grant the opportunity to beat it out. That'll go down as a
Hit.
infield single.
Yep.
5th of the day for the Oaks. As Austin was saying, just the life of a bullpen arm for Lara. ERA's ballooned, then a couple of scoreless outings, gets it down to under 4, then a couple of rough outings, and it's back to 10.
Yeah, I believe it was 5 straight scoreless outings, but then he's given up multiple in 3 of the last 4.
Yep.
Just what happens in this kind of summer. Not a huge sample size. Zach Daudet now up for the Oaks. Daudet 1 for 2 today, and he gets clipped on that one. And the Oaks have 2 on with 2 out.
Yeah, and actually the run of the 5 scoreless outings for Lara began against the Oaks, and on back-to-back days he went 2 shutout, no-hit innings. He only threw 2 balls in those 2 outs, and then he pitched against the Oaks again the next day and went a complete inning. He did give up a run, but it wasn't earned. And then, as Josh mentioned, there was 3 more after that, and then since then he's given up 4, 2. He then had a clean 1 out, and then gave up 4 again.
That'll bring up AJ Salgado. He takes a first pitch ball. Salgado hit a 100-mile-an-hour liner to Kamau Neighbors at short that he purposefully dropped to try to get the double play. Salgado beat it out, then reached on an error and came around to score in the 4th, and then hit a comebacker right into the glove of Anthony Corrales in the 6th. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. But right now, the way he's hitting the baseball, hitting it hard, if he finds a hole, Oaks take the lead. The 2-0. Rolls over to Williams at second base. Easy play for him, and the Oaks go down here in the 7th. Salgado not able to get the job done. And at the end of 7, we got a tie ball game. Hold on to your belts. When we come back, Danny Vilos will be out for the top of the 8th. Top of the 8th. Danny Vilos still on the mound. Be the bottom of the order for the Barons. Williams, Zuniga, Saldana, I'm sorry. 5 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors for the Barons through 7. 5 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors for the Oaks through 7. Oaks were once ahead 5-1, 4 unanswered for the Barons, and they've scored in each of the last 3 innings. Count is 1-1 to Thomas Williams. 1-1. That last Salgado ground out, another hard hit baseball, 96 off the bat. AJ just can't catch a break, can't find a hole to get through right now. What he's got to do is start hitting it 70 miles an hour, then he'll start getting some hits.
Maybe he should just do what Gavin Grant does and bunt.
No, just baseball right now for Salgado. Average dipping, but still hitting it hard. That's what you want to do. Eventually those will come around, but with the summer coming to an end, running out of time with the Oaks. 1-2. Fouled away.
We obviously don't have, the completely advanced analytics. Obviously, we have the TrackMan, but I'd love to see what the expected batting average is on the baseballs that Salgado hits.
Bright spot going into his fall for UCLA. Sure, they'll be glad he's hitting the ball hard. As Williams hits a ball hard into right field, but Tyler Gannis has room to make the play for a leadoff out for Danny Vilos.
Good majority of the Barons dugout there thought that ball was gone as they all got out of the dugout.
Yeah, the wind must not be.
Wind's
Yeah.
not really a factor today. A light breeze
Because I feel
by
like
Cal-Lu standards.
usually I feel like that would have been a home run. Got taken up in the wind.
Williams got a little bit under that baseball as well.
Yeah.
That'll bring up Zuniga, who got an RBI single his last time up.
And even after the inning that Lara just had, Larga Spada is now up in the bullpen for the Barons, which would be the 6th guy already out throwing for the Barons, 5th guy out of the bullpen.
Zuniga swings and misses.
And Andrew Lucas heading out of the bullpen right now too for the Oaks.
And for the Barons, they know that tomorrow is their last game, so maybe just trying to get as many guys with work as possible before their summers come to an end.
Yeah, could definitely be the point.
Good slider there from Vilos. Gets the count to 2 strikes.
We were informed of the
Zuniga rolls over to Grant at short. He's got plenty of time. Makes a strong throw over to Karliner, and first 2 guys down for the Barons. Not a good throw around there from Noah Karliner. It just gets into the outfield. Grant could get it on the short hop.
What were we informed?
as we were informed. Well, I asked, and then I let the boys know that the setup for playoffs as of right now, your Conejo are the #1 seed going into the CCL playoffs next Thursday. Games will begin in San Luis Obispo. We do have the OC Riptide right on our tails right now. Only 1 game back of the Oaks in the standings right now. San Luis Obispo Blues will be the 3rd team out of the South, even though they're not in a playoff spot in the standings, but because they are hosting the playoffs, they do get an automatic bid, so they will be the 3 seed automatically. But right now, the Riptide right behind the Oaks are playing in slow against the Blues, and the Blues currently up 2-0 after 2 complete innings.
The 2-0 pitch to Saldana is in there. 2-1 now the count.
But obviously, for the Oaks, you don't want to necessarily have to scoreboard watch. You want to just handle business on your own.
The 2-1 pitch gets Saldana right on the shoulder blade. That'll extend the inning for Kamau Neighbors. Neighbors greeted
Third baseman,
Velos
26,
with a
Christian
single
Tavares.
in the first batter faced of Velos' outing.
Correction, shortstop, number 1, Karrillo, Neighbors.
Neighbors just one of those pesky players, a guy that you don't like to face but you'd love to have on your team. Good defense, a great at-bat every time he's up. Just a real grinder at the plate. First pitch, in there, strike one.
And I, off the top of my head, obviously I don't know, but Karrillo Neighbors, of all qualified hitters in the CCL, might have the least amount of strikeouts. He just doesn't strike out.
Pickoff attempt over at first nearly gets Saldana. Karliner walking towards the dugout, as was Velos.
I was looking at you, Sam. I didn't see it. So
Saldana caught leaning just a bit there.
I thought he got him.
The 0-1, same location as the first pitch, but I thought the first pitch was a little outside.
yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Count evens up at 1.
I agree with you, Sam.
Yeah,
I
the
definitely
first
thought the first one was a ball.
It
That
was
one looked closer than the
I
last
agree.
one.
Yeah, I agree.
Saldana gets his lead, a nice slider.
That was a beautiful
Gets in the
backdoor.
back door from Velos. 1-2, the Neighbors.
Now,
Neighbors not a guy that's easy to strike out. Fouls off a lot of 2-strike pitches.
dude,
Puts the ball in play as well.
dude has single-digit strikeouts with over 100 plate appearances. It's ridiculous. How many times has he struck out, Austin?
2-2 to Neighbors now.
10 times.
And how many plate appearances?
91.
91 at-bats with 35 walks.
Yeah, so 130 plate appearances almost.
Salgado drifting into foul territory. He has plenty of room to make the play, and that'll end the inning. Neighbors slams his bat in the ground in frustration. Was not able to keep the inning alive for the Barons at the end of 7.5. Tie ball game. Oaks trying to take the lead late. Bottom of the 8th. Another pitching change for the Barons. It'll be Jonathan Lagerspada. And more action in the bullpen as well. It's number 17 down there. I believe that's Doug Allen. Two-way player for the Barons. Brendan Durfee leading off the bottom of the 8th for the Oaks. Andrew Lucas in the pen for the Oaks. We'll see what happens if the Oaks take the lead here. If the Oaks take the lead 100%, it'll be Andrew Lucas. But if the game remains tied, we don't know if it's going to be Lucas or Velos coming out for the ninth. Durfee's ahead of the count 2-0. To take the lead, step number 1 is to get the leadoff man on. Durfee in a good spot to do that right now, ahead of the count 2-0. Largaspada gets a 2-0 strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Durfee 1 for 2 today with a walk. The 2-1 fouled out of play, 2-2.
Just missed that one. A little late.
Durfee walked and came around to score in the second. Lined out to Neighbors at short in the 4th. And the single in the 6th. Largaspada set. He's working out of the stretch. The 2-2. Durfee gets through the diving Williams. Not the hardest hit ball there, but put in a good spot. Gets right through the outstretched glove of Thomas Williams.
Comes out to run now. He will.
It's going to be a pinch runner for Durfee. David Whittle will take over for Durfee. Whittle, a lot of speed out of the catching position. Durfee doing his job. A 2-hit ball game. And gets the tying run on. The go-ahead run on. Greeted to high fives on his way to the dugout.
Even Koji got out there for the high five.
Koji knows the spot right now. Was one of the first ones out there. It'll be Noah Karliner now with Whittle at first.
Koji, the birthday boy today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
7 day?
Yeah, they brought food for all the boys today and some cupcakes.
I didn't get a cupcake.
That's because we were at Chipotle.
Largaspada steps off the mound before his first pitch to Karliner, wanting to reset. Durfee letting Chavez know what Largaspada is throwing as well. Chavez in the on-deck circle.
And I believe he just told him to hunt the fastball. If I could.
I think he just said all fastballs.
Yeah.
First pitch to Karliner misses. Karliner, a guy with a lot of opposite field power. That's more so in the air, but if you can get one on the ground to the opposite field, it is wide open right now. A check over at Whittle at first.
Wow.
A good play from Hernandez to catch that ball. If that ball gets past him, unless it hits Coach Parker at first, it's going to be into that death area, really, for a pitcher.
I think Largaspada's hurt.
Largaspada grabbing his back.
Hernandez just saved Largaspada big time there.
He sure did. But
Umpire signaling to the dugout to check on him. Largaspada is going to take a couple of warm-up pitches here.
Oh.
And he's feeling his back. We might be seeing a pitching change here. You do not want to see that out of a pitcher.
Nope.
A lot of discomfort right now for Jonathan Largaspada. I don't know if Doug Allen's ready to go in the bullpen, but he'll get as much time as he needs if Largaspada comes out of this game due to injury.
Wow.
They break off the mound. It looks like Largaspada is going to stay in. He's going to try to tough it out right now. Showing a lot of heart.
Well, he knows that whenever this appearance is over, that's it for the summer for him. So he wants to be out there as much as he can. Definitely just gonna pitch through that pain.
The 1-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the smartest decision. I understand that your pitcher wants to stay in this game, but he looks like he's in a lot of pain right now.
Yeah, I think this is more just Largo Spada trying to be a hero here. But as a man with a back injury, it's not something to risk. You don't want to make it worse than it already is.
You can see him wincing after every single pitch.
He gets a strike call there, pulling a lot of his pitches to the left-handed side of the batter's box. Doug Allen will no longer be throwing in the bullpen. He might be ready to go, but another guy is up there, up and throwing for the Barons. Whittle's on the move, swing and a miss from Karliner. Zuniga had trouble getting the ball out of his glove, and it's a 2-2 count with the go-ahead run in scoring position for the Oaks.
Due to the injury, it just seems like Largo Spada has kind of zoned out Whittle at first, so he was just trying to make sure he threw a strike to Karliner, and Whittle was able to get a pretty decent sized lead and great jump. Now you just got to do a job right now if you're Noah.
Largo Spada's 2-2.
Good leave.
Great
Good discipline there from Noah Karliner. Lays off that nasty breaking ball. Just below the knees, too. Count runs full.
Zuniga's shaking up off that breaker, too. Andrew Lucas also is just standing in the bullpen now. Doesn't want to overthrow warming up down there. Lucas, as Cam has brought to our attention before, has a very specific warm-up routine in the bullpen.
Zuniga stretching out right now. He's ready to go. Karliner in the box. He's ready to go. Largo Spada on the mound. He's ready to go. The payoff pitch to Noah Karliner. Swung on and missed in the dirt. Karliner not making an attempt to go to first. Zuniga tags him out for the first out of the inning.
I think Karliner even realized that was a drop third strike there.
It'll bring up Josiah Chavez, 2 for 2 today with the sacrifice fly. Has driven in 3 of the 5 runs today.
Talk about right guy, right spot.
Sorry, 2 runs driven in by Josiah Chavez today. Sacrifice fly in the second. RBI, 1 RBI double in the 4th and a single in the 6th. First pitch to Chavez. Comes up empty. Strike 1.
Well, after Largo Spada went all fastballs to Durfee, now we're starting to see the off speed and form of a changeup and a slider from Largo Spada, and he goes first pitch changeup there.
Another breaking ball from Largo Spada. He's ahead in the count to Chavez, 0-2.
The Barons have recognized that Chavez is on virtually every fastball that you throw him, so starting with a changeup and a slider to get him in an 0-2 hole.
Largo Spada taking a long time to get those signs. Chavez calls time.
We appreciate the support from the Hynix. We appreciate you guys too.
Been a fun summer here
Sure has.
with the Oaks. The 0-2 to Chavez. Breaking ball stays low. Not a bad pitch there from Largo Spada. Trying to get the chase. Chavez stays disciplined. 1-2.
Appreciate the kind words from the Hynix there. Thanks again for inviting Sammy and I to join you guys for dinner.
Josh and Cam definitely missed out, that's for sure.
The 1-2 to Chavez. Outside, 2-2. After getting ahead 0-2, Lagerspot is just trying to be a little too fine at on the mound right now. Misses low with the breaking ball. Misses outside with the fastball.
I don't think they'd throw another fastball to him this at bat, or at least I wouldn't.
Lagerspada's 2-2 pitch to Josiah Chavez. Breaking ball, once again, stays low.
Especially with first base open to a fastball hitter. Gotta be careful.
This has been the hottest RBI man for the Oaks over the past week or so. So you can't really blame Lagerspada for pitching around Chavez right now. Trying to make Chavez get himself out right now. Whittle still at second. Lagerspada comes home with the 3-2. It's outside, ball 4. Chavez works the walk, coming back from 0-2 down. It'll now be Jack Brooks with 1 out here in the 8th.
Yeah, and Sammy, as you say that, you know, obviously, you know, the walk there doesn't hurt too much because first base is not occupied, but again, 0-2 to 4 straight balls there from Lagerspada to walk Chavez, and now you got 2 guys on with only 1 out. And the top of the order is right around the corner.
It was a good job of Chavez to stay disciplined there, as it looked like Lagerspada had no intention of throwing a strike to Josiah Chavez in an 0-2 count. As Jack Brooks takes the first pitch high. Chavez, 2 walk-off hits last weekend. And a lot of extra base hits over the past week or so. So no need to let him beat you, as he has beaten a couple teams over the past week. The 1-0 to Brooks. Brooks lines it into center field. Boyd going back, giving it a long chase. It's over his head. Whittle coming around third. He's going to score. Chavez into third safely. And Jack Brooks gives the Oaks a lead with an 8th inning double.
Ball was crushed.
That ball was crushed. Wow.
96 right there.
Wow. One Hobbs dead center. Couldn't believe that it got over the head of Boyd, who's got so much range out there, and we just kept watching the back of his jersey go back, back, back.
Oh, no, and you don't like to see that. Chavez slides into the bag. I think he hurt his thumb.
I think.
Sliding into third. It looked like he was holding his hand right there. You hate to see that right now.
It looked like when he slid in, the placement of the feet over there at third by Tavares caused him to slide, and I think he ended up punching that left thumb into the foot of Tavares.
Zuniga in a bit of pain as well, and he'll come out of this ball game for the Barons.
And Chavez is going to get pinch run for too.
It's going to be Matthew Dorado coming in for Zuniga, and it's going to be a pinch runner.
It's going to be
for Chavez. It's going to be Jose Parga. Just hate to see that right now. We hope Josiah Chavez is going to be okay, but obviously you don't want to take any more risks at the end of this ball game. Get him off his feet right now. Get some ice on that hand. He'll be greeted to some high fives as he's on his way to the dugout. But Jack Brooks breaking the tie in the 8th. Another time is called once again, as looks like we're going to see a pitching change from the Barons. But once again, Jack Brooks breaking the tie here in the 8th. Driving in David Whittle. It's not an easy thing to do, hitting the ball over the head of Julian Boyd, who has so much range out there in center field. That's why I didn't jump right away off the crack of the bat, because you never know with Boyd. But he was not able to get to that baseball. The Oaks take the lead 6-5. We've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Barons. It's number 38, Christian Casillas, out of Cypress College.
teammate of Karliner's.
We'll give Casillas some time to warm up. We'll come right back for Tyler Gannis' at-bat. Casillas ready. The infield is in. Tyler Gannis up at the plate. He's 0 for 4 today. Ball in the dirt.
One more here would be huge. And it looks like Glowacki's going to come into the game as a defensive replacement, as he's down in the bullpen tossing.
Curious where he'll come in.
And that ball gets a piece of Gannis. So Gannis is on to load the bases for Carrillo.
Center fielder, number 4.
We'll see how the defensive alignment will change here. It looks like the corners are going to stay in and the middle infield will go to double play depth. Austin Carrillo now up. He's 0 for 3 today with a walk. Casillas comes in, and the first batter he faces, he hits. Corners in. First pitch to Carrillo. Good play from Hernandez. Gets the out at home, and no play other than that. That's why the corners stayed in there. Hernandez makes the play to keep it a one-run ball game. It's going to be up to Gavin Grant to tack on any more. First pitch to Gavin Grant is in there for strike 1. An overthrown fastball from Casillas there. And a really good play there from the newly entered Dorado.
Excellent stop back there behind the plate.
Not easy to do, sitting on the bench for 8.5 innings and having to come in and making that play. As Casillas throws an off-speed pitch in there for strike 2, it's 1-2 to Gavin Grant. The bases are loaded. Brooks at third, Gannis at second, Carrillo at first. The 1-2. Just off the outside corner, 2-2. Barons really wanted that one from up here. Looked like it was well off the plate. Counts now at 2-2. Grant trying to provide some much-needed insurance for the Oaks. Inside-out swing, rolls over to Williams at second. He'll make the play to retire the side. The Oaks take the lead It'll be a one-run ball game going into the 9th with Andrew Lucas coming on the mound for the Oaks. We'll be right back for the 9th. Buckle up. Top of the 9th. Andrew Lucas on the mound, and he'll face the heart of the order for the Barons, Tavares, Lanier, and Greenfield. Andrew Lucas, the closer for the Oaks. Fireballer. Going to come at you with about 94, 95. A nasty slider and a pretty good changeup. Lucas's first pitch to Tavares. On the outside corner, painted.
96.
96 miles an hour.
On the first pitch.
Is that something that you're just not going to really do anything but beat it into the ground if you're Tavares? A good start for Andrew Lucas. The 0-1. Popped foul. It'll get out of play. 0-2.
96 again.
Lucas, always an uncomfortable at bat, but when he gets you 0-2,
Good
there's
luck.
the best you can do is just hope and pray as he can put you away with the back foot slider, a backdoor slider, or a high fastball. Or he can just paint a fastball really wherever he wants.
Or bury the changeup.
The 0-2 from Lucas.
Paint that fastball.
Misses outside. The Oaks dugout on the edge of their seats. More late inning heroics for the Oaks. The 1-2 from Lucas. In the dirt, 2-2.
I believe that was that changeup from Lucas. Yeah. Starting it in the zone, trying to dip it below the knees and get a chase.
Tavares choking up on the bat. Just trying to stay alive here. The 2-2 from Lucas. Tavares goes the other way. It's going to hang up. And Zach Daudet makes the play for out number 1.
And that's Lucas's fastball velocity helped keep that ball elevated enough for Daudet to make the catch.
96 miles an hour on that fastball from Andrew Lucas. Tavares doing a good job of taking it the other way. The ball just hung up just a bit. Enough for Zach Daudet to come in to make the play. Delshawn Lanier now up for the Barons. Fouls one off.
For the Oaks, Tyler Ganus has moved from right field to first base. And then Tyler Glowacki, as we mentioned earlier, he would come into the ball game. He's in right field.
And Whittle remains in the game after he pinch ran for Durfee. The 0-1 to Lanier.
Yep.
In there for strike 2. In Lucas's multiple inning save, his 2-inning save in Compton, he struck out Lanier in his first inning of work and struck him out to end the ball game as well. A lot of traffic in the 9th inning for the Barons that time in Compton, and Lucas's multiple inning of work. The 0-2, and Lanier goes down swinging again. Does not like facing Andrew Lucas. Slider in the dirt, completely misses the bat, completely broke out of the bottom of the zone, and all Lanier can do is shake his head, and the Barons are down to their last out. It'll be Aaron Greenfield. Greenfield today, 2 for 3 with a walk. Carrillo in center, shaded a little bit towards right field, not playing straight away. First pitch in there.
97.
Wow.
97 miles an hour from Andrew Lucas.
Greenfield was the one who hit that ball off of the back of Velos back in the 7th.
The 0-1 from Lucas. Swung on and missed.
Bayou.
Blows the fastball past Greenfield, and the Barons down to their last strike.
I think he's going to want to rear back and chuck this one as hard as he can. But
The Oaks were ahead 5-1. The Barons came back to tie it. The Oaks take the lead back in the bottom of the 8th.
Please be the slide.
And the 0-2 from Lucas.
Got him.
Painted fastball right at the knees. Greenfield goes down looking, and Andrew Lucas comes in and shuts the door with authority. 2 strikeouts. And the Oaks win 6-5 over the Academy Barons. The regular season finale will take place tomorrow at 4:35 against the OC Riptide. Took a bit of heroics in the late innings again for the Oaks. Jack Brooks with the go-ahead RBI double to make it a 6-5 ball game. Andrew Lucas comes in and does what he always does. Shuts the door. Saves the ball game. We'll see you guys tomorrow. For all of us here with the Oaks, Austin Gregory, Josh Mechanic, Cameron Deck, I'm Sammy Holiday. Final home game here at Kowloon this summer. Been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. We'll see you guys tomorrow.